Well, that's going to work better than I thought, I believe. I figured 2" to 3" I was going to need like, 2 half-inch pieces. And I don't have any half-inch, so I figured I was going to have to stack them on there. But just putting that on there roughly like that, that's the, this is the same pieces off this floor jack that I made the, making the shackles out of. And I'll get them clamped on there, and I'll cut out the right size pieces, but we'll get them clamped on there and run me some tacks and re-drill the holes. And I think that's going to work good. There's one hole that might line up. I'll have to see how I do this. I might have to get one side on where I've got a hole. Looks like I can use the front hole on the tongue. So I may get one side welded on there, drill through. Then I can drill through the other way on the front hole, and then I'll mark where the existing rear hole is, and make sure I stay far enough away from that to get this thing bolted on. But I'm going to go ahead and harvest some more metal off that floor jack. Like I said, I've got to do another shackle. So I'm not going to bore you guys with the cutting and grinding and cutting. But when I get those pieces ready, I'll bring you back and show you what I'm doing. Okay, well, I got my metal harvested off the floor jack. My pieces aren't going to be quite what I was looking for. I was looking for 2 3/4 by 5, and the most I could get, if we get this where you can see it, I don't know if you can see the lines on there or not, but up here at my widest part, I'm 4 1/2. So divide that by 2, I can get 2 1/4 instead of 2 3/4 on each one by my 5. And then I've still got a piece here big enough to do my other shackle that I need. And that 2 1/4, that'll be plenty. Mainly it's just spacer in there. And 2 1/4 is still going to put me pretty close all the way top to bottom of that. And like I say, it's just spacer. The bolts are basically what's going to hold it down, so it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get them cut out, cleaned up, ready to start welding on, and I'll bring you guys back a little bit later on. Okay, well, I got my pieces all cut, ground down, cleaned up. I don't know if you can see it or not in the camera, but I've got my bevels ground in them so I can lay a good bead in there. I've hit them with a coat of weld through primer. Probably could have left the powder coating on and just cleaned it off where I was going to weld it, but you know what, this will make it a little better. Just a trailer, but I found this stuff helps a little bit with your welding as well. So we got to give it about 10 to 20 minutes to dry. and then I can get them clamped on there and go to welding. So while I'm waiting for those to dry, I'll probably go ahead and get my other shackle cut out here, get that cleaned up, and then it's going to be a lot of drilling. That tongue piece, I'm going to be drilling through 5 layers. So we got 3 there, plus the 2 I'm adding. So, yeah, I don't have a drill press. I do have a electric 1/2-inch drill if I need to. Right now I got a lot of batteries charging, but actually, I've never really had good drill bits. You know, I got some DeWalt's and whatnot, various ones. But I picked up these Cobalt Warrior at Home Depot. And there we go. And that set was probably like $70 or something. And so far I've been impressed with it. Now these are all going to be 1/2-inch holes, I believe. Yeah, 1/2-inch bolts for them. Got grade 5. Another little secret I learned, guy that's been in the trailer business for years, selling parts. I don't know if he sells trailers or just what all he does. But on my water trailer, when I was redoing the axle under it, I needed some bolts because it just trying to fit the old springs and stuff that I had bought with the new springs and stuff I had bought with the couple of old things on the trailer. And he didn't have what I needed. Might have been a bolt with some splines on it, I don't remember. Anyhow, I told him, I said, well, I'll just go find me some grade 8 bolts. And he actually told me that on trailers like these, grade 5 is better. He said grade 8 will tend to shear, where a grade 5 will give you more flex and won't shear like a grade 8. So just a little tidbit, another little tidbit to keep in mind. But like I say, I'm going to let that weld through primer dry. Go to work on something else here for 10 or 15 minutes. Get those clamped down, lined up, ready to weld. And I'll bring you back and show you probably before I weld them. Okay, got my pieces lined up. Got them clamped on there, tacked. I will probably go ahead and, I don't know, might move that clamp, put a second one on it. Probably don't need clamped, but we all know what metal does when it gets hot. It can warp, so I'm gonna leave it clamped. Just so it don't pull away. So I'll get going here and My top bead's welded good. I by no means profess to be a welder, but those ones on the end, I'll have to wait till I watch the video, but it looked to me like maybe I was still down on power. The cord I have it plugged into, my welder plugged into a separate cord than my lights in my garage now. Like I said, I still have, I only have temporary power right now. So I've got a 30 amp RV plug on the front of my deck. Apparently they had a camper hook up there. And that's what I'm running the shop off of. I noticed when I was working on my last trailer, running the welder was killing the lights, so that told me I didn't have enough juice. So when I'm needing to weld, I unplug the one that keeps my RV charged up, and I run it over here and plug strictly the welder into it. Now, unfortunately, they're still on the same circuit. And the other thing I just thought of is I just added an extra refrigerator in that shed along with the freezer that's in there. So possibly that is knocking my power down, where sometimes the welder's not welding that good. Because when I was finishing up my car hauler trailer, I had it the same way, but I did not have that extra refrigerator freezer in there. And I didn't have any problem with it. So eventually here in the next few months, hopefully I'll get my permanent power run over here. I'll have a 100 amp sub panel in here. So I'll get these cleaned up a little bit, make sure my tongue fits, and get it on there and bring you back. Okay, I'll bring you guys back just for a minute. I hit it there with just a wire brush on the drill. Still pretty warm, so I don't want to get too carried away. I want to completely let it cool off before I put that tongue on there. Get my holes marked for the to drill the bolts, but it didn't turn out too bad. It's going to focus for me. You know, this is just spacer material. The bolts will actually be what hold it on. I get a little bit of a bead there. I never professed to be a welder with a wire feed. I've done a ton of spot welds on flat panels, on sheet metal. I don't know if any of you guys watched the video on my Jeep, but yeah, I've done a lot of repair panels on it. It's a little different welding on heavy metal like that. In fact, about the only thicker metal welding I've done is when I finished up this spare tire carrier. To burn that in, had to do my latch system over here. It turned out pretty good. The more I go, the better I should get, right? So we'll see. But so I'm gonna let that cool down. I may go ahead and give it a shot of primer while it's cooling down. That way it'll be hot and baked on there. Yeah, maybe I won't, because that tongue fits pretty tight. So I'll just be scraping the primer off. But I'll go ahead and give it a shot of primer after I get my hole drilled, and at least give it some protection back there. So now it's just going to be getting that thing set down on there, getting my holes marked, and lots of drilling. So I'll bring you back when that happens. I get that on there and probably drilled out. Okay, so it is just a little over 3 hours later. I believe it was 2:46, I think, when I started this little drilling process, and it's now 5 o'clock. So 3 hours later, one broken drill bit, Broke that one off. Had to take the torch, melt it out of my hole. But I got 4 holes that got drilled. I drilled them independently instead of trying to go clear through from one side. I just drilled them each separately. This one here's the one I broke the drill bit off part way in. Just got the torch, stuck it in there, melted it out. Bolts all go in good. So I will blow that off, get all the shavings and stuff off there. I got a couple little spots. I got a little spatter right there and maybe right there. Give it a shot of primer, maybe paint, one or the other, or both, I don't know. Get my tongue on there. See if those bolt holes line up as good. Put that tongue on as they do with nothing there. So I'll get that done. I'll bring it back and show it to you when I got it mounted on there. And then we'll move on to something else. Okay, well, I got it on there. Had to do a little bit of modifying. Didn't take much to get the first bolt through. It lined up pretty good. Had to manipulate it a little bit. The back bolt really didn't want to go. It was going in on a downward angle. And so what I realized is this right in here, it's still got a little bit of a dip in it. And that must have been from when I was tapping it in place with this little hammer over here initially during my fitting process. So basically I took a flat bar, got under the back of it in the center, took another little hammer, pounded both sides down, and that got it where it lined up. So bolts are in, my holes lined up good. We're drilling them from opposite sides. Yeah, I know I got my washers, but I'm missing a 1/2 inch grade 5 bolt. It's somewhere in this mess right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this cleaned up and put away. I don't think I'm needing the welder anymore. Not going to harvest any more metal, but it worked out pretty good. I made my shackles and both my spacers in there with that. Oh, and yeah, I did have to get out the good old 1/2 inch electric drill here. I'm gonna be hurting tonight. That one there, that's one I was using when I broke the bit, as well as it got hung up in there a few times. If you guys ever run those, even with that handle on it, I finally got it where I could stick that other handle down in between my knees and just be really, really careful about trying to keep that hole lined up straight so it didn't catch. And not, even though those are high-speed bits, I didn't run it too fast, because when you're running too fast and it catches, if you ever run one of them 1/2 inch drills with a 1/2 inch bit, yeah, you know what they'll do to your wrist. So we got them. Now I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I got 8 holes to drill for my shackles so I can get them on. Those shouldn't be too bad. I don't have a 9/16 bit, and I guess they're actually 5/8. I got 5/8 grade 8 or grade 5, 5/8 grade 5 bolts and hardware for those. But I used my stepper bit a little bit on that one. And I've actually got a new stepper bit here. It's a little bigger. And I'll get me a, oh, I don't know, on those others I was doing like a 3/8 for my pilot hole. And then I'm thinking, let's see here. I'll have to see if this got where it's at 5/8. It won't take much though, and I'll just drill one side. It'll have that taper from that stepper bit, and then I'll flip it over and drill. Come on, camera. Come on. There we go. Flip it over and drill the other side so it don't have that taper in it. Okay, I'm gonna clean up a little bit here. Put some stuff away so I can get to work on my shackles. We get those done, then we'll start throwing some paint on this thing and get the tires on it, and we'll see if I can get it today. It's a little windy outside, so I don't know if I'll try to do it today or not. No, I probably won't. I'll probably wait till tomorrow. Let this paint dry overnight, and then I will get the backhoe, get my 500-gallon tank hoisted up with the backhoe, and get her sitting on the trailer tomorrow and strapped down, and I may even be able to do that early enough tomorrow to haul a load of water. I'll have to see where my tank's at. I was at 1,000 gallons the other night. I typically like to wait till it's down. I've got a PVC pipe that was marked when we bought the place, and it's marked at 500, 1,000, 15, and 2,000. So I typically like to let it get down to 500 gallons, and then that's a day, hauling 3 loads. So we'll get at it here and come back a little later when we got something else going on. Okay, we're back again. It's about 7:45. So got my shackles all done, and it just dawned on me that I ended up with 2 extra bolts, so that's a good thing. You know, they're not the best. There's no bushings in them. One of these days I may get online and look for a new spring set, or at least some shackles, maybe some bushings to put in these. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to get these all bolted back up, do a little bit more cleanup on it, and start throwing a little bit of paint on it. So we'll bring you back. I'll show you these probably when I get them all hooked back up, and see where we go from there. Okay, here we are back. We got the shackles all done, both sides. Got the tongue bolted on and torqued down. Yes, I did torque it. I just got done. Says if you use half-inch bolts, half-inch grade 5 with locks, that's the preferred method, and only if you can torque them down to 35 foot-pounds without distorting the tongue or the trailer frame. Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that with the heavy metal I put on there. So, so we got both shackles done, both sides, and yeah, it's getting late. I know I said had 2 extra bolts, but I didn't. I needed 4. I don't know. It's been a long day. And it's not over yet. It's about 8:15 in the evening. I haven't ate yet. I gotta go in here and a little bit and give my dog his medicine, but I think that's it for building. You've probably heard here, I've got a good breeze blowing. I'm going to get my swamp cooler. I may set it over here with the fan on, but I'm going to open a door here, open my windows back up a little bit back there, get a good breeze coming through here, and do some rattle can bombs, give her some paint. So I'm not going to bore you guys with all that, but I'll bring you back when it looks better. Looks like my battery's going dead, so I'll have to remember to change my battery before I bring you guys back. See you in a bit. Okay, we're back. Got her squirted with a little bit of paint. Still got a little more. I got 1 can left. This is 4 cans. You can see back there. Of course, part of that back under there is going to be under the tank, but I'll go ahead and give it another shot. I got my oh, what's going on there? Got my wheel bolts here. I'm going to give them a quick shot, and then I'll hit the trailer again everywhere I can, and make sure I got at least enough left to give those bolts another shot or 2. I'll just go ahead and use up what I've got left in that 1 can. And I don't know, as you can tell, I got a good wind going here. I opened that door and went ahead and turned on my fan on my swamp cooler here, just to keep it blowing away from my truck. I can only open these doors up part way this time of night, so I opened it up a couple of feet and had a good breeze going through here. But this time of night with the lights and everything, if I open them too far, then I get the bats in here chasing the bugs that are coming over towards the front of the garage. I had one in here. He must have got out. He was in here the other night, and so I went out, left all the doors wide open, turned off the lights, and I haven't seen him no more, so I'm assuming he must have got out. So gotta go ahead and give the dog his medicine. Like I say, I'll come out here, give my bolts a shot, give the trailer another shot with whatever's left in that can, and keep enough to I should be able to give those bolts a shot while I'm doing it. Have enough left. We'll see what happens with the wheels tonight, if I go ahead and get them put on or not. But tomorrow we can get the tank set on there. I've got a new 2-inch valve for it. Right now, everything I run is 1.5 inches. I broke it unloading my tank the other day so I could load the Jeep on, broke the fitting off where I go down to 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I got a new 2-inch valve. I had one that I bought months ago. I don't even know how many months ago. Actually, I have a smaller water tank. I've been going to set up in case of emergency. You know, just in case something happens with the trailer. It's actually one, it's small enough I can throw it in the back of my truck. But, man, I went to hook all my fittings together the other night, and that thing would not turn. That valve,
I finally got a pipe wrench with it in the vise and got it to turn. I sprayed some silicone and not WD-40 silicone, but not the actual WD-40, and got it to turn a little bit. And yeah, that just wasn't going to work being on that trailer. So I took it back, and even though it had been who knows how many months, maybe even a year, folks at True Value, it was so long it wasn't still in their system where I bought it, or actually not True Value, Ace. And they went ahead and exchanged it for me. So I'll let you guys go, let this dry for a little bit, go give the dog his pills, and get back out here and squirt some more paint. Okay, I'm back. This one's almost a wrap. I got 4 cans of paint on it. Got the wheel bolts over here. Got about 4 coats on them. Probably hard to see. There you go. They'll be dry enough tomorrow. I'll go ahead and get this thing back on its own rubber on the ground. Get the tank, get it set on there. Get my tie downs done. And we'll be ready to haul some water. So I'll come back in the morning with you, and I'll do some more, a little bit more video tomorrow as I finish this thing up, and bring you guys along. Here we still got some wind. Worked really good getting my overspray out of here. So I got to go pull the side-by-side in, close the doors, turn out the lights, and go find something to eat. So you guys have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, here we are. Another day in the high desert of Arizona. About 55 degrees. It's October 18th, I think. So yeah, we're going into winter here. We do get a little cold. We're up here about 3,675 feet. So yeah, we can get a little cool. All melted off now, but in there. Yeah, this that mountain right over there, it had snow on it this morning. Not much, it's already gone, but yeah. We're about 55 degrees, right? We're supposed to get up around 61 today. I don't know if it'll make it or not with these clouds. It was 46 this morning when I got up, and thermometer showed a low of 43. So yeah, we're moving into fall, out of fall into winter, but we got her done, or all but done. Got her painted up, got the wheels back on it, got the tank set on it. I got to go in and replumb my fittings in now that I snapped the other day when I was taking it off my other trailer. So I'm gonna go up from 1.5 to 2 inch, and we'll see. I don't know how quick I'll do it. I'm gonna buy me some 2-inch flat, lay flat. I've got 1.5 right now, so I'll have to buy me a little bit of 2-inch pipe and lay flat, and then that'll get me unloaded quicker. Right now it takes around a half hour or so. One issue I'm having is this trailer's tall, or my truck's short, you decide. But I actually had to jack up the back with my handyman to get it to go down on the ball. I couldn't use my regular straight ball that I have out. That's one I've had on my ATV right there. But got to get it in, get my tie downs figured out, get that tied down, get my plumbing in, and we'll be good to go. So I'll give you a shout after it's all said and done.